everybody, I'm Natalia Bonner. Okay, today is not my typical day to stop in or to share a full video here with you on YouTube. However, all of us are very aware that our world is in a really crazy place right now. And just from my own my own heart, I guess, I know that all of this stress that's going on in the world can really cause a lot of distress in our own lives. And for me, sewing is something that's always been a place to just go, to clear my mind, to feel maybe distracted. Maybe we're going to call this social distracting. Social, get it? Anyways, just a way to kind of help take your mind off what's happening out there in the world. We're all stuck at home doing something, so why not sew? Why not practice our skills that we've been working on and really have fun with something? So I hope with this video today, I can either inspire you on your machine quilting journey, help you take what you've been doing and just step it up a notch, or if all I can do is just give you a few minutes, just a little break from the craziness of life right now, then that's all I really want to do here today. So what I've got to share with you today, these are actually blocks. I've got them all quilted. They turned out gorgeous, that I had planned to share with you after my block a day stitch along ended. But because all this is happening and we're all at home, I want to bring joy to you. So that's what we're here to do today. So I've got 3 block videos that I'm going to be sharing with you today. I will have more to come in the next few days to weeks, just hoping to inspire you to bring some joy into your lives. So the first block that I'm going to be sharing with you today is the mask block. So I've already showed you how to quilt out the basics, the foundation of this block in my stitch along, but today I'm going to show you how to dress it up just a little bit. Then after we're done with the mask, then I'm going to show you the spin block. So same thing, I'm going to show you how to stitch it out. I've already shared the foundations. Then today I'm going to show you how to dress it up just a little bit. Then for the third block that I'm going to share with you today, I'm going to be sharing the slide block. So 3 different blocks showing the foundations, how to quilt them out with the machine quilting rulers. And now I'm showing you how to dress those up just a little bit. So I truly, from the bottom of my heart, hope that I can share just a little bit of joy with each one of you today. Let's get stitching. I'll start out by using my blue Mark Be Gone marker and a rotary type ruler, and I'm going to mark a 9 patch on my quilt block. So even though I'm showing this design to you here on a 6-inch square block, this design would also be adorable on a 9 patch block. Once I've marked out that 9 patch block, I'm going to begin by stitching in the ditch all the way around the outside of my block. I am using my 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler here to stitch this design out. After I've stitched in the ditch, now I'm going to use the medium size curve on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler and start stitching at that top left marked point. Like you can see here, I am showing you this camera view angle that you can see is looking from the top of the block down towards the bottom. So I'm going to refer to things from the top to the bottom. Starting that upper left marked point, I'm going to use the medium size curve on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler and stitch a curve up to that next marked point and then back down to where I started. When I get back to where I started, then I'm going to stitch a fun little swirl, swirling into the center, then out to the opposite side of the block. Once I'm done with that, then I'm going to travel along the ditch to the next marked point. This time I'm going to stitch 2 of those melon-shaped blocks down to the second marked line, back up to the top, and then I'm going to fill in both of those shapes that I've created with a fun little swirl coming back down to the left. From there, then I'll travel down to the bottom left corner. I'm going to repeat that same process, working all the way up to the upper right corner, again using the medium curve on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler. When I get up to that top corner, then I'll adjust my ruler and stitch right back down to where I started. Again, when I get back to where I started, I'm going to start adding in those fun little swirls to the inside of each of those little melon shapes. I'll continue that same process, filling in each of those blocks completely. I'll start out this block design by finding the center on all 4 sides of my square quilt block. This is a 6-inch quilt block, so it's 3 inches right to the center on all 4 sides. After I've marked those, then I'll begin stitching on the left side of the block at that left marked point. Using the largest curve on the 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler, I'm going to stitch point-to-point curves. So from the left down to the bottom, from the bottom to the right, from the right up to the top, from the top back to where I started. When I get to where I started, then I'm going to travel up the ditch on the left-hand side of the block, moving up 1/2 inch. When I get to that point, I'll line up my machine quilting ruler so that first marked line is right on top of my previous stitch line. Then from there, I'm going to add echo stitches, crossing over my previous stitch lines, stitching all the way to the outside of the block. I'll repeat that process on all 4 sides of my block. Once I get back to that point where I started, this is where I'm going to start really dressing up this design and adding something fun. So on the outside, in those little kind of funky triangles that I've created out there, I'm going to go through and add swirls. I love machine quilting swirls. They are one of my favorite designs to stitch out. When I stitch them out, it's always swirling in, thinking about leaving myself an out and then swirling back out of there. Once I've filled one of those, then I'm going to use my ditch as the place to travel to my next kind of triangle shape thingy. And I'll fill that one in with those fun swirls again. Now with this design, I am just showing you how to fill in the outside, add a little detail to there, but have fun with this. You're going to end up with an open space in the center of the block. You could always add something else in there or keep it just like it is here with a fun open design. Now, if you do want PDFs for these designs, we do have the basic PDFs that coordinate with the foundations of each of these blocks over on our website. Also, the rulers that I'm using here are all also available on our website, peaceandquilt.com. I'll start out this design by using my blue Mark Be Gone marker and a rotary type ruler and marking a T through the center of my quilt block. Once I've marked that T, now I'm also going to go through and add some angular point-to-point lines. So I'll draw one through the center of the block. I'm also going to draw one in each of those new boxes that I've created. Once I have all of those markings done, now I'm ready to begin stitching. I'm stitching out this design here using my mini 4-in-1 machine quilting ruler. This is a great ruler. You can pick it up over on our website, peaceandquilt.com, but you really could stitch out this fun design with any machine quilting ruler. Now you know that I love the look of Stitch in the Ditch, so of course I'm going to start out by stitching in the ditch. When I get back to that center bottom point, I'm going to stitch straight up the center. When I get 1/2 inch above the center to that marked point, then I'm going to stitch an echo line 1/4 inch on each side of that angular marked line. Once I get back to where I started, then I'm going to travel up the center and repeat that same process on the block in the upper left corner. So you'll see that I'm lining up the mini ruler so that the outside edge of the ruler is right on top of my previous stitch line or marked line. Now, once I've filled in that upper left one, then I'm going to start filling in the top side of that upper right block with some fun little pebbles. I love the look of pebbles. However, just a couple of tips about quilting those out. Obviously, I do go more in depth into those in my book, Beginner's Guide to Free Motion Quilting, But when you're stitching those out, try not to quilt them in rows. It's super easy to end up stitching rows and rows and rows of circles, but when you do that, it's going to end up looking really, really uniform. And if you have one that's not uniform, it's totally going to stand out. So I'm trying my hardest to be as random as I can when I'm stitching out those pebbles. I'll continue this process, filling in the top side of each of these new triangles that I'm creating. After I have stitched all 4 of those blocks, then I'll complete this design by misting away those blue marked lines. I hope you all have a great day and have found just a little bit of inspiration or just a moment of joy from today's machine quilting video. Have a great day, everybody.